Record.
Hello, welcome in. I am back. So the last reading I did out of the Mausolea deck was for the gang stalkers. What will be the fate of the gang stalkers? And that, my friends, is on the website, lovestoneshill.com. I'm not .com, on the YouTube website, which is also Love Stones Hill. Okay, so if you want to check out the whole reading, that is where you can find it. You have a hard time finding it, you can go to the Love Stones Hill website and click on our social link, the YouTube link. Okay. So today, Spirit has been really getting on me to do another reading. Probably should have done the reading yesterday, but I'm doing it today. And I suspect there will be many more. So just so you know, I am not doing readings for the collective. I'm doing readings so the collective will know what is happening to the folks that have done horrible things to them. What is their fate? And I have been driven by spirit to do this. So I'm doing it. Okay, so today we thought we would delve into the witches, the dark witches. But it's going to be more about the witches, dark witches, who did spell work over and over and over to chosen ones. Even when they had a realization that they were chosen, they kept doing that spell work. What will be their fate? What is going on with them now? I'm curious. Why would I be curious? Probably because I had so much dark magic thrown at me by a lot of witches, by a whole community of folks. Of course, it all went bad. What is their fate? And I don't think I want to include the ones that didn't know what they were doing or didn't know that they were doing magic against someone who's chosen. I want to only include the folks that knew something's not right. This person is different. Because I know there was a moment when they said, maybe I should stop. Something's not right. That's who I'm doing it. That's who I believe I'm doing it on. Let's ask. This is a file tensor. So back and forth is my yes. Thank you. Can you show them my no? My no goes towards you. Okay? See how it's going towards you and then towards me, towards you and then towards me. That's my no. All right. So let's ask. This reading, is this for the witches that did spell work against chosen ones? That's yes. They did it over and over and over again, even when they knew they were doing spell work on the chosen one. Yes. Okay, are we, should we include the community of folks that they got involved? No, we'll do them later. This is just for the witches. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Biotinfa. You can find one on my website. They're fabulous. Okay. So let's get it. Let's see what we get. So this is for the witches or the warlocks who continuously did magic on chosen ones. We're doing 6 cards. For those of you who don't know, this is a new deck. I've used it once. So I will be using the book for this. So again, we're going to do 6 cards. That's what we did last time. We did 6 cards. Yep, we pulled 6 cards. So the first card is it's kind of going to be, where are they at? What obstacles are they facing? What are their goals? What's the next step? Internal forces that they're dealing with, and then a final response. That's the 6 cards. Okay? All right. So let's see. And then I always pull out 1 card for the collective of witches. All right, so let me see. So we're doing 1 through 6. I'm hearing Spirit said something about, and this includes the witches who poison people. So if you were involved in poisoning someone, this is including you as well. All right, so I have my 6 cards, and then I'm going to, let's see if I can get 1 card for the collective. That's this card. Looks like it's going to be this card for the collective. All right. All right, let's get started, y'all. Okay. So, card number 1. So card number 1 is the self, is where are you now? What is your current situation? So Marty R is the card that I pulled. She is the matron of the blind. She represents honesty, shame, and restitution. She's got the hood on. See her? Her hands have blood on them. I'm sorry about my screen. Let me see. And there's blood on the wall. Let me try to turn it just a little bit. I hope that helps. Let's see. Yeah, helps just a little bit. But see your hands and the back of the wall. I don't know if you can see the back of the wall. Okay, so let's get a little information on Marty if we can. And then I will channel, see what I get. Okay. One minute, y'all, 1 minute. Marty R. All right, here we go. In Mausolea, the affection of blindness represents a blindness of the soul. Mortals who are in life. Okay, I need to create a sacred space. 1 minute, please. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, y'all. I did not create a sacred space, and all of a sudden the energy got so heavy. I had to stop and create a sacred space. Okay. So we talked, it's Marty, matron of the blind. Attributes are honesty, shame, and restitution. Okay, so that's Marty. And what we're getting here is the affection of blindness represents a blindness of the soul. Mortals who in life believe themselves extremely keen, sighted, may find themselves so stricken upon their death if they live their lives in ignorance and delusion. Their actions untampered by pity and compassion. It is the task of the Marty R to care for these souls, to guide them to reflection upon their sins, their shame at their previous selves, and restitution through thoughtful service and care for others. Once such a soul can see their own faults, weaknesses, and the effects of the one's actions on others clearly and truly atone for them, only then can the blindness be cured. The Marty R invites us to look clearly upon ourselves and our deeds and see the blindness in our souls so that we may not be eternally stricken. Okay, let me tune in. Okay, so some of you have come to a space where you're being honest with yourself and what you participated in and or did, and are experiencing extreme shame. And know there must be restitution. And Marty will help guide you through that restitution process. Be prepared to face those energies that you have sent out. Not battle, but face them. And truly find restitution. in your actions. Only then will you feel you're coming from a place of true honesty. Then you may be able to find your way out. And Marty may help you. Michelle. So she's kind of like, I'm here, I'm waiting for them. One by one as they come in, she'll assist. She doesn't show her face in this picture, but when you really look at it, she is an angel with blood on her hands. She's not dark, she's more of a gray. So it seems to me that she's doing her restitution as well. And that's what I'm getting, what I'm channeling. So sending light to her as well on her journey of restitution, and sending you light on yours as well. I'm sending light to those who will encounter Marty. Okay. All right, we're moving on to the next part. Dawn, the red shepherd, just reward, evolution, and respite. Well, just by his energy, he has walked this planet for a long time and battled. Just reward, making sure that people get just what they deserve. So here's his photo. I tell you what. I wonder, is that coming from? No, it's coming from the one in the front. Okay. So there's the card, there's Dawn. No, let's try to turn it. Jeez. I'm sorry. I just want to get y'all the card so you can see it right. Okay. Okay. Let's see what I get for Dawn. I don't remember seeing, but I wasn't looking for Dawn, so I always have to, okay, here it is. Here he is. All right, so what did I get? The protector of the borders of Anyan, the death god, Dawn, sends his red knights to seek and wait. It says, the protector of the borders of Anya, the death god, Dawn. So Dawn is the death god. He sends his red knights to seek the sorcerer, or the six. The sorcerers, those souls who are lost and wandering. So those who are no longer on the planet. He evaluates these souls in his castle while they wait for passage to the fortunate isles. When the boat arrives, he keeps those that most impress him to serve him as retainers or to become red knights themselves, bringing others to the lost, bringing others of the lost to the place of refuge, evaluation, and eternal respite. Dawn is our guide after the long, hard struggle, who leads us to the place of rest and reward and just, not for our past deeds, but for how we comfort ourselves in this moment. Wow. All right. It says, Dawn is the guide after the long, hard struggle, who leads us to the place of rest, reward, and justly, not for our past deeds, but for how we comfort ourselves in this moment. So this card is for those who are no longer on the planet. This card was pulled for those who have done magic, and the magic backfired and went back to them. And now they no longer walk in this dimension. They walk with Dawn if they're lucky, or they got on the boat, and I'm not sure where that boat goes. So we got Marty, and now there's Dawn. So there are some who did magic, and that magic bounced back to them. They're no longer here. Let me feel into that energy. So it's heavy. I don't even want to feel into it, to be honest with you. I will tell you there are many. There's a lot of people who did magic. And it was over and over and over again. And some of them believed that they had been taken over. It wasn't them after a while. The venge and the hatred for someone that they didn't really know, they don't believe it came from them. It came from another energy who took them over. And I will tell you, this is many of them saying, me too, me too, me too. So after you do something to someone so many times, you lose yourself. And many of the ones that are no longer on the planet feel that they were lost to someone else taking them over. And I don't know if they had an agreement or what happened. That's a reading for another day. But right now, that is the energy that I'm getting. And we're going to move on. Okay? Kind of just cutting those cords. Next card. Hades, Lord of the Riches. Equanimity, wisdom, inevitability. Whoa. Hades, Lord of the Riches. Equanimity, wisdom, and inevitability. Interestingly enough, he's got that fork, that pitchfork. It's not really a fork, because it's only got two. But he's got that apple. So he's in a gray black. Got that apple going in his hand. Let's hear a little bit about him, shall we? All right. Pattis, Lord of the Riches. Okay. Unlike the descendants, fickle gods of Olympus, Pattis cares more for the people under his rule than he does for his own pleasure. He endures their sneers and abusers with equanimity, focuses on his goals and his responsibilities, knowing that eventually all will come to an end in his realm. Haddish reminds us to ignore petty, unworthy distractions and to focus on that which will make a real difference in the world. Wow. So Haddish has a knowing and an understanding that um, none of it is real. It's all fake. And he focuses on the equanimity. So he deals with people who have had money on this. I feel like he deals with people who have money. Who have had a certain status on the planet. So not just the everyday Joe. But he makes sure that they're all treated the same at the end. And it's almost like he's the teacher. He gives them the wisdom that we were in a matrix, this was all a game. But they all have to, it's almost like people of a certain status go through him. And it's almost like he's teaching them. Almost like the life review, he's giving them a glimpse at different things that they did at different times that affected them ending up with him. I'm saying life review. I don't know that he calls it a life review. But he doesn't bring up, he's showing them the worst of themselves. Yeah. And he's not judging. He has no opinion. He feels nothing. He's just showing them what he has to show them. Equanimity. It's like they're all treated the same. It's a certain class of people, but they're all treated the same. Millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, all of them need to see who they were and see how others viewed them. And that's what Hades does, with no judgment. I think that is his sentence as well. Yeah. So some of you will be headed to Hades because you've done well here. Just got carried away. All right. Next card. The Ageless, the light in the darkness, healing, graciousness, and acceptance. Let's see. I'm sorry. Please give me a minute. Be patient with me. Wow, last page. Look at that. Okay, the light in the dark. Denied paradise on a matter of law, in spite of her notable life and spirit. The court of Elohim, in their mercy, granted the ageless the power of renewal for herself and others. This allows her to grant healing and successor to those souls suffering from harms, afflictions, by, it says, abundance or corruption. She has accepted her lot with graciousness and dignity, preferring a life of service and acceptance of her fate to one of the bitterness, to one. Okay, let me reread that. She has accepted her lot with graciousness and dignity, preferring a life of service and acceptance of her fate to the one of bitterness and despair. So she's accepted this fate rather than to have one of bitterness and despair. Seek the ageless when in need of healing, a sympathetic ear, or the grace to accept what one cannot change. The light and the darkness. So y'all are going to be going through some real darkness. Very heavy, very dark. And if by chance you see a light, it will be the ageless, because she holds a light in the darkness. You see how that she has her light through the light in her hand? She's in the dark. She holds the light right there as she's walking. She can offer you healing. She says that she can offer you a sympathetic ear. For many of your fate, you will have to accept. And it's gonna be difficult for y'all to accept your fate. Because many of y'all don't believe you have done anything wrong. But you have. And you will have to accept it. You will have to heal. And as you wander on your path, look for the light. It will be ageless. And perhaps she will assist you if you are gracious. Ooh. Okay, hold on 1 second. Interestingly enough, on the ageless card, it says this, she was granted the power of to renew for herself and for others. This allows her to grant healing to other souls who are suffering from harm inflicted by abattis, corruption. Abaddon's corruption. So I did a reading for the Game Stalkers, and the last card I picked was Abaddon. And what I got is that they walk with him now, and they don't even know it. And so Ageless says that she will help those who were inflicted by Abaddon's corruption. So what that's telling me is that some of you witches, you walk with Abaddon. And that card I just pulled, that was card number 5. He has shown himself. He has shown himself. So he is the overlord of the abyss. He is pestilence, he's corruption, and he is malice on this plane. And many of you walk with him. You see him? Okay. Abaddon, overlord of the abyss. An unknowable alien being, the great devil of the abyss. Abaddon wages eternal war on Mausolea, El Shaddai, and the Elohim. El Shaddai works and fights with the Elohim. The Lord of pestilence and corruption. He is the methodological, methodai, I don't even know how to pronounce that, like a diabolical. Thorough destroyer who nonetheless enjoys using trickery to seduce souls away from El Shaddai and his enemies. So Abaddon represents the inclination towards evil in this world, the worst of all instincts and actions, natural or unnatural, where other demons and devils engage in their cruelties out of their ego, delusion, or a twisted sense of vengeance, Abaddon knows that he is doing, Abaddon knows what he is doing and takes pleasure in the evil for his own sake. So that is when you let your ego take over and you become the worst of yourself. You walk with Abaddon. So Abaddon comes out. So many of you dark witches, you walk with Abaddon. You let the worst of yourself take over. You are corrupt. You are malice. And Abaddon sits, he sits in gratitude for that. Okay. I'm trying to tune in. The energy is very heavy. Bear with me, please. Abaddon feels that he gives everyone the opportunity to walk. No one's forced into anything. It's like you stick your toe in and you can't help yourself but to jump in. That's how Abaddon feels. He lets you stick your toe in before you make the decision of which way you're going to go. And most of you jump in head first and then cannot find your way out. He's showing himself as a guy that's just like, he's just letting everybody make their own decisions. Just watching on the sideline with a grin. All right. So many of you walk with Abaddon at this time. But you can try to find ageless, because if you're walking in the dark, it doesn't say where she is, so you could find her now. He'll help you with healing. And so will Marty. Marty R. Seems to me. It's honestly, it's like there are a lot of energies here that have walked the path that you have walked and that have done what you have done, and they are there for you. Not necessarily everyone. Dawn, I don't know about Dawn. But I would say Ageless and Marty. Hmm. All right. Next card. Vamp. Caretaker of the lost. Respite, assistance, and memory. Oh, that's how you do that. Look at that. There she is. Let me see if I can show you a bat in them like that. Yeah, there you go. If you wake up in the middle of the night and a bat is standing there, not to worry, you walk with him. All right, let me see what I get to from Evan. Okay, caretaker of the lost. The caretaker of the lost. Vamp guides the dead who become sidetracked or misled to their proper places. Vamp guides the dead. So this is for the witches who are no longer here. Okay. And so Vamp guides the dead who become sidetracked or misled to their proper places and agents of Hades mercy. So people that get stuck with Hades. She helps them recall that which they most need to know about themselves to continue. So if you get stuck with Hades, you were stuck. You're not moving forward. You were deceased and you were stuck. So she helps them who get stuck with him. But he's populating, so some of you guys will get stuck with him. She helps you recall the most. Okay, so it says, she helps them recall that which they need most to know about themselves to continue in their afterlife. Benevolent and dedicated. Vamp provides that which is most needed at the point where it is most needed. She inspires us to trust those we depend on, and that the tools which will aid us will be there or will be easily found at the critical moment in which they are needed. It is important to rest, to breathe, and not to give into panic and fear. So this is another card for folks that are no longer on the planet. It appears to me that doing magic, especially death magic or graveyard magic, against folks that are here for a reason, folks that align with God, may not have been the best idea for you, for many. Because death is showing twice. And I'm not even talking about a baton, because usually you walk with a baton on this plane. So, okay. And then the card for the collective. I got the NYX card, Enchantress of the Night, Secrets, Vengeance, Subterfuge. So she holds people's secrets. And quite frankly, I channeled her last time. And she is at a point where she is letting secrets out. So many of you witches who have been witches, because it's generational, maybe not always dark witches. Just so you know, I feel there are a lot of dark witches who have generations of dark witches and white witches. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. So the Enchantress of the Night, she holds secrets. There's a lot of secrets, and she has started to let those secrets go little by little. She's putting the secrets out. And let's see, I didn't read her thing. I actually channeled her. So let's see what, if y'all don't mind. But she's not going to hold the secrets anymore. And she has this game plan. And she has started to release the secrets little by little. And as she has started to release the secrets that she has held, and I suspect she has held these secrets from your ancestors. I suspect. For many, many years, lifetimes, is what I'm hearing. She has held these secrets for lifetimes. I'm going to look one more time, and then I'm just going to tell you what I got in the channel message. But I feel like this would be a good time to read it, but maybe not. Maybe they don't want it read. So she has held secrets for lifetime after lifetime, generation after generation, and she has started to let the secrets go because she knows the ascension is coming, and she has decided that she wants to ascend, which is interesting because it doesn't say where she resides, but it looks like she is on the planet. If you look at the card, you can see the moon in the background. And she has moons all over her, so she aligns with the moon. The moon is secrets. But if you look at her cape, you can see the little sparkling white in them. As she releases the secrets, little sparks of white start to populate on her cape. So the more and more secrets that she releases, and remember, she's held these for thousands of years. So as she releases the secrets, little spots of white come out on her cape. And within the next, I would say, 48 months, 72, she will release all of the secrets that she has held lifetimes over lifetime over lifetime. I'm hearing Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I heard. So she is releasing the big secrets. And as she releases them, her cape turns from black to white. You can see the little spots in it. And she will continue to release secrets. And by the time she releases her last secret, her cape will be white, and she will ascend with the rest of us. That is her plan. So if you have secrets, they're coming out. It's inevitable. They're all coming out. And it's best if you tell your secret yourself before they come out. But it's your journey and your path. You do with it what you will. But she is releasing secrets. And because I pulled her for the collective, y'all have a lot of secrets. So be prepared. All in all, this reading was pretty sad. Lots of death. We got 2 deaths twice. So a lot of people are no longer on the planet. And they're lost. Lost. You got Hattie's looking for them and Don looking for them. You got Ageless, who walks in both realms. I believe she walks on this realm and in the afterlife realm. She holds the light, so she will listen and help you to heal. If you are gracious and if you are accepting whatever consequences you're being dealt for the life that you led. Then you have Marty, who helps folks with restitution. Y'all. It is what it is. You lived your life the way you wanted to live it, and there are penalties for the things that you've done. If you're still on the planet, it's not too late for you. But it looks to me like many are not. And I'm going to stop this reading here because the energy is so heavy. There are consequences to everything that is done. There are beings that came down in human form to try to help save this place. And if you think that you can stop them, then you will be meeting Don or Hattis very soon, just like the rest of them. Nobody's asking for your help, but just get out the way. So the work that needs to be done can be done because it's going to be done whether you are trying to block it or not. But the fate of you will change based on what you're doing. The chosen who walk with God, you cannot take out. You just cannot. And that's what it is. I'm closing out. I appreciate you spending some time with me. If you're still here, make some changes. That is the reading. You can, yeah, that's it.